I just want to do a quick video about just something that occurred to me as I was reading through the Gospel of Mark this morning, Saturday, August 6, 2016, and it's obvious that the elite of the world, or whatever, the elites, the people in power, are against Donald Trump, and it's because he's for the people and the people are for him as a result. And I just wanted to show how the same was true with regards to Jesus. Not to say that Trump is a messianic figure, although I do believe that he is a gift from God, and he is an opportunity for us to fight back against the evil that we don't even see, and the evil schemes of the people who are our elites. So if you go to, I don't like to tell you where to go in the Bible or to start quoting scriptures, because I know that it's boring for people, but I'm just going to talk about Mark 6:54 to 56, then Mark 11 verse 18, and Mark 12 verse 12, which just go to show the fact that Jesus was so popular amongst the multitudes, amongst the masses, the throngs, as they're described, but he was very unpopular for that reason with the elites, the elders, scribes, chief priests. And at chapter 6 verse 54 it says, as soon as Jesus got out of the boat, or as soon as the disciples got out of the boat, the people recognized Jesus. They ran about the whole countryside, began carrying around sick people on their sleeping pads or mats to any place where they heard that he was. And don't forget that Jesus was so popular, but he didn't have television, he didn't have Facebook, he didn't have Twitter, he didn't have anything like mass media. It was just all word of mouth. And it says, wherever Jesus came into villages or cities or the country, they would lay the sick in the marketplaces and beg him that they might touch even the fringe of his outer garment, and as many touched him were restored to health. But then it goes on about the Pharisees. It says, this is after Jesus fed the 5,000 with their loaves and the fishes, 5 loaves and 2 fish. It says the Pharisees came and began to argue with and question him, demanding from him a sign and a testing miracle from heaven, maliciously to test him. And Jesus groaned inside in his spirit and said, why does this generation demand a sign? Positively I say to you, no sign shall be given this generation. He had just given them a sign. He just fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, but the Pharisees want like lightning from heaven or something. And you can see how they oppose him. They oppose him because they want to be in power, and that's all they care about. And of course Jesus taught them how. It says, Jesus began to teach his apostles that the Son of Man must of necessity suffer many things and be tested and disapproved and rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the scribes, but not the people, and be put to death, and after 3 days rise again from death. And then 11:18. It says, and the chief priests and the scribes heard of this, when Jesus had drove out the money changers from the temple, and they kept seeking some way to destroy him, for they feared him. See, they fear him, because the entire multitude was struck with astonishment at his teaching. So, similar to Trump, who is resonating with the people, Jesus was also resonating with the people, obviously, in a much bigger way and for much better reasons, able to heal the sick and whatnot. However, he was still, despite all the good he was doing and being for the masses, he was the target of envy, and they sought to destroy him out of fear and envy, and they being the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders. So again, at 12:12, it says, and they, the Pharisees, were trying to get hold of Jesus, but they were afraid of the people, for they knew that Jesus spoke the parable with reference to and against them. So they left and departed, and that parable was the one about the vineyard being rented out, and every time the landlord, the owner, sends somebody, in the parable it's a servant, but Jesus is talking about the prophets that were sent by God to Jerusalem, and they were stoned, killed, and then ultimately the Son was crucified. And then Jesus predicted what would be done by God to those people in Jerusalem, which we know was destroyed in 70 AD by the Romans. So, yeah, so that's the only point I wanted to make, is that, you know, when you have a good person who's for the people, you're always going to have the elites who are against the people and ruling over the people, and don't have the people's best interests at heart, but only have the elite's best interests at heart. That good person, that man of the people, similar to Jesus, in this case Donald Trump, will be the target of attack by the elites. So we can see nothing's changed in 2,000 years. The elites are no different. They don't want what's good for the people, and when something comes along that challenges them, threatens them, and is good for the people, that will become a target of their attack, and that's why Donald Trump is the target of their attack. So that's it for today. I'm going to do a random book reading. If you go to bodybible2015.com, if you're interested, and if not, be blessed, because by the time you watch this, it's going to probably not be August 6th. It might be August 6th, 2017, or maybe 3017, who knows. I'm reading Paul's writings 2,000 years later, so you just never know with God. And with that, have a good day.